Viewer, a day after Iran bombed targeted sites inside Pakistan, Pakistan has retaliated by sending missiles across the border into Iran. These are some of the first images of the Pakistani retaliation on Iran, the moment where missiles land on Iranian targets. A full-scale conflict has broken out diplomatically between Iran and Pakistan, with each side pulling out their diplomats and demanding an explanation. But I want to make sense of this. Here on India Today, we continue to try and decode what this exchange between Iran and Pakistan really means. I'm joined here on 5 Live by one of India's most well-regarded strategic affairs commentators and observers of the region, Sushant Sareen. Sushant, welcome. Sorry we've come to you a little late. We got a little delayed in our earlier interview. But, your thoughts on this. Pakistan has hit back at Iran, Sushant, now. Do you see this escalating further?
Shiv, I think it will depend critically on how the Iranians look at the situation. I think they had initially assumed that the Pakistanis are very weak, which they are, and that the Pakistanis will be a bit of a pushover because the Pakistanis would not want to open a fourth front. They're already involved in 3 fronts against India, the Islamists, and against Imran Khan. So opening up a fourth front against Iran would actually become even a bigger problem for them. But they probably did not count for the fact that the Pakistan army is under siege. It's fighting against its own people, trying to foist a new government in Pakistan. Not very popular right now. And for the Pakistan army to not even be able to respond militarily, they responded diplomatically initially, but to not be able to respond militarily would really impact on their image and their USP as far as Pakistan is concerned. Their raison d'etre in a sense. So I think the Pakistani hand was forced. But I don't think the Pakistanis want to escalate it beyond it. So now the ball is in the Iranian court. The Iranians are huffing and puffing and making this big show of power by launching these massive exercises, which leads me to believe that they will do all of this, but they will not push it beyond the edge, simply because this is the Iranian modus operandi. They bring in their troops, they flail their arms, they make this show of force, and then they pipe down after they've done it. They've done it with the Afghans earlier, with the Taliban earlier. Now they're doing it with the Pakistanis. So I don't think the Iranians will take it to the next level. But if they do, then it will be because for the Iranians, the challenge is now going to be that if the Pakistanis get away with this, then there are a lot of people in the West and in the region who say that, look, Iran has been, meddling in a lot of things in the region. They have been using their proxies. So what we now need to do to teach Iran a lesson is to strike at Iran itself. There's no point hitting at the Houthis or at Hezbollah or Hamas. Let's hit at what they call the head of the snake. Now, if they were to do something like this, then Iran would really have a huge problem on its hand. So for Iran, they need to disabuse the people, that if somebody hits at Iran, inside Iran, then Iran is not going to take it lying down. Now, this is going to be the dilemma for the Iranian leadership, and how they are going to rule. I wish I was an Ayatollah and I could tell you, or I was a member of the IRGC, but I'm neither. So I'll just wait and see how they are going to respond to it, but my popcorn is out.
Your popcorn is out, and I saw your tweet as well. Sushant, one final question since we're running out of time, which is, the India part of it. Yesterday, the External Affairs Ministry put out a statement, where they said India understands, actions taken in self-defense by a country, which was seen as a word of support for Iran. You're seeing a lot of voices in Pakistan trying to sort of blame India for what's going on, this whole exchange. How do you see that, and where, what do you think of India's stand in this whole thing?
No, blaming India is stupid, which I expect from the Pakistanis. Because after all, it's not India which asked the Pakistanis to keep Jaish-e-Adal in Pakistan and sponsor Sunni extremist terrorism in Iran. So that's not on India's head. India, of course, has confabulations with Iranians on very important security issues which involve our interests. For example, there is a lot of business we are doing with the Iranians. Strategic level business, Chabahar port and all of that, the north-south corridor. And also we need to impress upon the Iranians to try and rein in the Houthis who've been raining missiles, some of which have affected our shipping and
Correct.
is affecting our trade. So we will, of course, have a conversation with the Iranians, but are the Iranians anybody's fools that just because we tell them something that we want you to go and attack Pakistan, the Iranians are such big idiots that they will go and attack Pakistan? So Iranians have their own agency, they have their own calculations, they have their own reasons to do what they are doing. The Pakistanis need to, face up to it and deal with it. They have dealt with it in one way, but we'll have to see whether this spirals out of control. My own sense is that the Iranians also would not want to push it beyond a point, but it's going to be a very difficult choice for them.
Okay, what that face saver will be, where that exit ramp is, we don't know yet. They probably don't want it to escalate, but we leave it there. The story is most certainly far from over. Sushant Sareen, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time here on India Today. Thank you.